Hey, welcome to another Gig Doctor. I'm Dane Scott with Furby.
What's up, dog? See? I'm a cool dude.
You are indeed. And today there's a mindset that we can have as Fiverr sellers, which can have a very powerful impact on both them and us. It has to do with giving your buyer, your client, oxygen. I'll tell you what I mean coming up.
The Gig Doctor.
We'll get out the oxygen tank in just a few seconds here, but first I just want to mention to you that if you're watching this during December 2021, I have a big discount going on my 4-video bundle called Head Slappers. Now, these are 4 videos. They're the 4 best things I've ever found to boost sales on Fiverr, and you can grab all 4 and get a new Head Slapper 5 video that I just came out with as a bonus. And you'll use the coupon code that I'm going to share with you a little bit later in this video. By the way, the new Head Slapper 5, it really is an amazing one. The theme of that one is knowing the unknowable on Fiverr. There's so much that we don't know about how Fiverr does what it does because they don't tell us, but there are ways we can find things out legitimately that can help us a great deal, and that's what this one's about. So it's knowing the unknowable on Fiverr, and it's already getting some excited comments from people, so check that out. It's going to be $99 for all 4 during the holidays here, including that bonus video, so 5 altogether, and I'll have that coupon code for you coming up. All right, on to it. Today we're going to spend a little time looking at buyers from the inside out. I think it's time well spent because buyers they're just like us. You know, if our roles were reversed, we'd be them. So it's easy as a seller to think of a buyer as, well, okay, let me digress first for a moment. For newer people, a buyer is simply someone who is looking for a service and purchases a service on Fiverr. The seller is someone who offers and sells them that service. Okay, so that defined, we continue. It's easy to think of a seller as an adversary. It's an age-old rivalry. It goes back probably thousands of years. So you offer something of value, and I want it. You want something for it in return. I want it for as little as possible in return. And, of course, you want to sell that thing to me, that service, whatever it is, for as much something as possible, and I want to get it for as little something as possible. So that immediately puts us at odds, at least to a degree, and that it doesn't end there either. So you add to that the pressure of time, how high needs the buyer is, their, let's call it, reasonableness factor. Some people are very reasonable. Some people are not as reasonable. Time constraints. Natural greed that we all have to get more and give less, both the buyer and the seller, let's be honest about it. And you can quickly find the two of you on either side of a brick wall, tossing mental grenades at the person on the other side. So here's the challenge. We need to somehow minimize that barrier. And if it's possible, cross it. Note I say if possible, because it isn't always possible. Some people just are bricklayers by their very nature. And the best we can do is to just toss an olive branch over the wall. But we can try, right? So here's one of the best things I've ever found to do, and that's to address the buyer as a friend right from the start and give them oxygen. Now, what do I mean by that? By that I mean to acknowledge their viewpoints on things, their situation, their needs, their troubles, and, when we can, their objections, and to give them the benefit of the doubt about things. Let me give you some examples. Okay, here's the first one. The buyer mentions they're under a tight deadline. So what's our immediate mental reaction? Oh, lots of things can go through our minds. So what's new about that, right? Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody wants it right away. They're probably not even under a deadline. They probably just want it fast because they think like a 3-year-old, and I want it now. And maybe you're right. But none of that is going to help us build a relationship with them. So how's this instead? We give them a little oxygen. Maybe we answer with, understood. Yep, it's a busy time of year, so let me help you with this. If we get the order going right away today, I'll rush it through at no extra charge on this first order, just as a thank you for trying my services. Okay, so we've just alleviated their anxiety about the timetable for delivery, and we've shown that we appreciate their situation, and I guess most importantly, we're on their side. We're on their side of the wall.
Ooh, I like that. That's a really good idea.
All right, so here's another one then, Furby. We're working on an order for a client, and we can go no further until we hear back from them with an answer to a question. We've all had this happen. And our mind is saying, that jerk? First they say they need it fast, and now, when I try to get it done for them quickly, now they're letting 12 hours go by without telling me what I need to complete it. It would be so easy to send kind of a stinging note saying, you said you wanted this fast, and now you're not even answering my questions. But of course, that's not going to do us a lot of good, and it's not going to do them a lot of good. So instead, how about this? We relax, we send them a little oxygen in an unusual form. Now, don't panic when I mention this, okay? You request cancellation. Again, stay calm here now. We're doing this for a reason, and here's why we're doing it. A cancellation is only a cancellation if the other party accepts it. And we are going to include this message that you're about to hear now, along with the cancellation. So it goes like this. Hey, don't accept this cancellation. I know you've been busy, and I needed to pause the gig so it wouldn't run out on us. Not just me, but on us. Until you were able to see my message asking for a little additional information. Please send me a message with the answer, but don't accept or deny the cancellation. That way it'll keep the timer on hold for us. And I'll quickly finish your order up and get it to you as soon as I hear from you. Now, this may seem like a kind of an odd, unorthodox thing, but it's actually a recommended practice by the folks at Fiverr. It spares you from being marked as late, and it addresses the situation kindly with the buyer, acknowledging, hey, they've been busy. Life happens, right? So we're not charging them with neglect, and we're giving both of us a way out of the situation without any damage. So the expression, looks like you're busy, is a great oxygen hose, not just for this situation, for many situations. If they're not responding right away, hey, it looks like you're busy is a nice thing to say because it suggests the buyer is a busy and an important person and not that they're thoughtless or neglectful. Okay, so those are just two examples, but the principle behind them is something you can apply to many, many, many situations with buyers who, you feel have transgressed in some way. Now, what's the worst thing we can do? As a seller, the worst thing we can do to a buyer is the thing we would like the least done to us, and that's to make them feel like crap about themselves, if you'll pardon the language. When we sound like we're scolding, even a little, it can sometimes get the buyer to bend to our wishes, but the cost and goodwill is high. We've essentially gotten out the bricks and mortar and, started laying the wall ourselves between us and them with our own two hands. That does not result in repeat business, as much as it may feel good just for that moment when we send the message. That results in one-and-done business, and it may also result in a bad review, or even worse, bad private feedback to Fiverr, which can absolutely tank you in search if it happens a few times. And I hear from people fairly regularly that say, what happened? All of a sudden, I've just disappeared from search. Sometimes that's what it's about. So not only is scolding a toxic approach with the buyer, but it's toxic to us too. So, when you feel tempted to get out the mustard gas and, spray an annoying buyer, just remember that the drift from that stuff is likely to blow right back in your face. Instead, try and relax. Think of that buyer as a friend you want to help, and take out the oxygen tank. Acknowledge their needs and problems and show your willingness to help. So when they fail you, you put a good face on it for them. Defend them by the way you respond. Say encouraging things, reassuring things. Let them know that you understand their situation. Stay on their side of the wall. It's amazing how much that can help to build your business, while at the same time helping with your own peace of mind. Okie dokie, I promised you I'd give you a coupon code, so here it is. I'm giving you my 4 biggest techniques on video for learning how to earn more money on Fiverr. These things, I guarantee they will pay for themselves, way more than pay for themselves. And I'll be throwing in a 5th video just during the holidays here. It's one I just released, Head Slapper 5. This one's about knowing the unknowable on Fiverr. Just follow the link in the description below, or you can go to thegigdoctor.com/headslappers, and when you order the bundle, you put in this secret coupon code, HOLIDAY5, no spaces, HOLIDAY5. Holiday and the number 5, and you'll get the whole works for $99 instead of $250, and we're throwing in that 5th head slapper. That's over at thegigdoctor.com. And that's a wrap for today. Hey, if I can help you out with your Fiverr gig, feel free to pop me a message. Maybe we can set up a Gig Doctor session together. Great to be with you. Catch you next time.
Hello.
Hello? Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.